speaker series. Welcome to the first of 4 sessions during this academic year. And now it's my great pleasure to ask the Chancellor's Professor and Director of the Norman Paterson School of International Affairs, Dr. Fen Hampson, to introduce our speaker.
Thanks very much, Larry, and let me extend a very warm welcome to all of you, distinguished envoys to Canada, distinguished students who are in the middle of midterm exams. It's also a great pleasure for me to thank Larry Lederman, who also used to bear the title of ambassador himself with great distinction, former chief of protocol who organizes these series for us. This is the inaugural episode of this year's Ambassador Series, and I think it's fair to say we could not ask for a more distinguished envoy to this fair city than His Excellency Ambassador Zenon Kozhna-Kamyzh. Up to me now to call you to the podium, so thank you.
Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Szanowni Państwo, it is a big pleasure for me to be invited to the Carleton University and to share opinion about and information about my country, about Poland. We are not the members of Eurozone so far, but we would like to join Eurozone, and we consider these troubles, this crisis in Eurozone as our own, and we would like to do our best in order to unravel this situation. Today we are just a little over halfway through our tenure as the President of the Council of the EU, and as you may know, we just finished holding a successful parliamentary election. We are doing economically very good, but it is also an obvious sign of political stability. I can assure you we Poles did not find it boring these elections, but when we look towards our eastern neighbors, and particularly the Ukraine, at this time I can forgive the Globe for suggesting our electoral process being a little dull. In fact, this leads me to a serious issue occurring currently in our eastern neighborhood. We are quite concerned with recent events happening in the Ukraine. Poland has consistently supported and still supports the Ukrainian nation in its European choice. Gratefully, our relations with Canada are free from negative historical legacy. Actually, Canada is an important ally and partner both in bilateral as well as in international cooperation. Our bilateral relations continue to flourish, both economically and politically. We are working closely with Canada to promote democracy, security, human rights, and the rule of law in many corners of the world. Poland and Canada are cooperating closely in the Libyan Contacts Group and other international forums dealing with the implications of Arab Spring. Our economic cooperation is developing dynamically. Last but not least, our relationship with our bigger neighbors, Germany and Russia. After the devastation of World War II, it was extremely complicated to establish a good neighborhood policy towards them. All because Poland was ruled by communists. The official propaganda underlined a friendship and brotherhood to the Soviet Union, which was not accepted by the people. The reconciliation with Germany was not a priority for the communist government, but surprisingly easier than in the case of Russia or Soviet Union. The reason for that was obvious. The Germans were the losers, aware of the fact that they caused this tragedy. It was easier for them to say, "We are sorry." The Russians were the proud victors who sacrificed the life of millions of its soldiers in order to liberate Europe from the Nazis. According to our relationship to our southern neighbors like Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary, which is not our direct neighbor, we have an excellent cooperation. We negotiated our EU membership together, and our cooperation in so-called Visegrad 4 was really appreciated, and I strongly believe we will continue this kind of cooperation.
And, actually, a few years ago, I had the chance to go do an internship in Brussels. So I know that there's a very fertile kind of think tank community. And I was there at the time that the Lisbon Treaty was ratified. So my question would have been regarding the presidency and the new architecture within the EU. I was wondering if you could say how the concept of the rotating presidency has changed since the ratification of the Lisbon Treaty, and whether it's still, whether there are any overlaps between the position of the President of the European Council and rotating presidency. So just a little bit of feedback on how that's changed since 2 years ago.
There was really many changes after we signed the Lisbon Treaty. I would say it was something like a next step in our development within the European Union. We created External European Action Service, what is like a foreign service for European Union. We would like to have EU more efficient, and of course we shifted certain duties, certain tasks from this national level to the European level. That's why, for example, the presidency country is not responsible for the presidency in the third countries, like here. I am glad to inform you about the priorities of our presidency, but according to the Lisbon Treaty, the European Commission, or the, let's say, the Embassy of European Union, is responsible for the official policy, European policy in Canada. We are also involved in this policy. For example, we have now this last round of negotiation in CETA, Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, and we had also a round of this framework or special partnership agreement. Our embassy was involved in these negotiations, but it was led by the Embassy of the European Union. I think it was a good decision when we are looking into the future, because we decided to create or to develop European Union.